Routines are one of the most detrimental things you can have on living life because on one side there's this productivity, you can have so much benefits, you could get so much done just by following this routine. But there's this other side where you wake up, you know your routine, but you don't feel like doing any of them. And so now you're stressing out because you're missing out on these productive things that you could be doing. You're missing out these benefits that you could reap. By doing that, you've now missed two things. One are all of those productive things, and two is that you've completely missed the point of having a routine in the first place. Routines are a structure that are made for us to follow so that we can get a good grasp of what we can do during the day. Yes, can, not should. I just have a list of things that I could do during the day. For example, I could work out, I could cook breakfast or cook a meal, I could draw, I could play music, or I could just chill for the whole day. And all of these are in my routine, but I don't have to do any of them. I don't have to complete any of them. I don't have to finish any of them. It's just a list of things I could do. It would be good if I could do them or if I could accomplish them, but I don't have to do them. See, if you think about being productive, the benefits you could get from all of those activities, and how better a life you would get when you did the routine, you're living in the future. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is that the future only has a chance of happening. You cannot control it. I could be an amputee tomorrow and how I would do things would drastically change. Now I could spend this day trying to prevent myself from being an amputee tomorrow, but that would just be a miserable life. It would just make me suffer. And so the best routine to have is the one that you don't have to follow. It's the one where it's just a list of the things that you could do during the day and you don't have to complete any of them. It's the one where if you wake up one day and you're like, I don't feel like cooking breakfast today, and you'll be completely fine with that. But here's the tricky part. You'll have to make a decision. In every activity listed in the things that you could do for the whole day, there is a decision bound to be made. And decisions have benefits and consequences. And so, if you're feeling like you don't want to cook breakfast today, the benefit of that is you could just chill. And you could fulfill that desire that you don't want to cook something, or you don't want to get up and cook. But the consequence of that is that you'll spend half of your day with no energy to do anything at all. And so I want you to notice that when you wake up and you feel like you don't want to do the first thing in your list of the things you could do, acknowledge that you have this desire and that it's completely fine to do that. But you also have to acknowledge the consequences of not doing that. If you don't cook breakfast, you don't have anything to eat, and so you spend half of your day with no energy at all, and you're sitting there like fuck until lunch comes around. And so you don't have to stress over not feeling like doing anything, but you'll have to make a decision. And so if you live your life being completely fine with not wanting to do anything at all, and being completely fine with suffering the consequences by doing that, you will live a life of happiness and contentment because it's the life you chose. You won't have a routine, you would just have a list of things that you could do for the day. Because now, you're living in what you could do now instead of what you will be in the future if you did this. And so, do me a favor, live